Yeah, no, I was petrified the entire time, and it's funny because I think people often assume that you're not frightened or you've got no issues or qualms about being there because you put yourself in that situation. Without sounding sort of too cheesy or whatever, it's something that I feel very strongly about, and I think the fact that these girls are just so remarkable and unbelievably brave, I think it'd be a disservice if we didn't go to them and give them the platform that they so deserve. So you sort of push yourself and you take it step by step.
There's a massive question mark when you do something like what you did with Shireen about whether you're going to make things worse, right? Yeah. How did you figure out whether you were going to re-traumatise her, that she was capable of it, that basically you might, obviously you're trying to make things better, but knowing whether you were even actually going to make any difference or make things worse for her?
Do you mind if I jump in?
Yeah, no, go.
No, so I mean, that's completely, this person has essentially had all control taken away from them and has been the victim of some of the worst abuse that ISIS can throw. But that process of sort of making sure Shireen was okay started months before the film actually was definitely commissioned. You know, there was a lot of research done into her, how she was doing, who she was. Helen, who's at the back, went out for an initial visit to talk to her everything we were thinking about doing. I then went out and laid out the sort of the further plan and wanted her to basically know that she was in control. And at any point she didn't want to say something, she didn't want to go somewhere, that was fine.
Shireen completely led us. And there were actually things that she said, oh, actually, I don't quite fancy talking about that. You know, I'm not into that, and we didn't push, and Josh didn't use any of that stuff. So it was handled completely ethically, and you know, we're filmmakers, but also you've got to be able to look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, completely.
You know, I'm very, very delighted with how the whole team handled the situation.
There was one moment that I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
I think a lot of journalists will, where the Iraqi commander is really pissing you off, and saying stuff that you want to really call out. But you have to, because of safety and access and all the things that also come with documentary making, bite your tongue. How did you feel about his comments about Shireen, about her honour, about her dignity, and all the things he was worried about her damaging? How did you feel about him saying it for once?
I felt like I wanted to put him in his place, and I felt like he'd really pissed us all off. But you're right, you know, you're in the middle of West Mosul, what we're going to do, you know, me shouting and bawling when there's IEDs all over the place is not helpful. And I don't want to stress Shireen out any more than she really is. Fundamentally, I think it's very straightforward. It wasn't for him to jump in and silence Shireen. Shireen's an adult woman, she'd given complete consent, and it was her choice to take us here and talk us through what had happened. I think there was an element of embarrassment on his part. I think he may have felt that he and his men had let some of the Yazidi girls down. I think he might have felt like it was a criticism towards him, even though it was nothing to do with him. He was there for security purposes. And I don't have too much else to say about him, really.
It was nice to have that in though. I always think those moments sometimes get edited out. Right? You know, when it's like, oh,
do you want it to be glossy?
The camera went wrong and the guy pushed it down, and like sometimes people do that, add that in for drama, but I thought there was quite a few moments in this documentary where it was like, this is the rubbish going on behind the scenes and we're going to let you into that. Was that a decision?
No, completely, because I mean, obviously we're constructing something, we're making a film, but I'm always really keen to try and be as honest as possible as to what's happening, and actually in this instance it served really well to highlight the fact that actually this is a very complex issue in Iraqi society.
I'm sure lots of people do have a lot of questions about the ISIS interview. I'll just ask one, because I'm sure there'll be questions, but how, given the situation, right, and the supervision he's under and who he is, how honest did you feel he was being with you, or was able to be?
I think he was being fairly transparent. I mean, you sort of ask the question, don't you? Why has he even agreed to talk to us? You know what I mean? But then you think he's in a locked cell for 23 hours a day, right? So he probably is desperate for interaction, and I don't. I don't understand what lying would achieve. I think he was probably quite honest, because he didn't seem to hold any remorse. I don't think he realised what he'd done to those girls, and it was such a huge moment to sit Shireen down, you know, and you've got to remember, she was in complete captivity, and so for her to be able to look at this guy in the eye and just, you know, put it to him.
For Shireen, maybe quite hard, right? He didn't seem remorseful, he kept kind of giggling in a way, and he probably still really thinks that he's done the right thing, and that means his life's going to go and his afterlife's going to go on the right path. Was that difficult to see?
Interestingly, I thought he was going to be more definite about his kind of caliphate beliefs. We thought he was going to turn it into something kind of, you know, a warped view of religion. Actually, the girl that helped facilitate the interview said, do you know what, to be totally frank, to be totally honest with you, I think it's circumstantial with him. She thought, you know, his background was quite complicated and his family members had always sort of been involved and been passionate when it came to terrorism, and I think he was a very lost guy for a very long time, and I think he got involved with ISIS, this is just my personal opinion, for financial reasons, for the ease, for the fact that they were in control. I don't think he believed that, you know, he secured his place in paradise.